Hi writing class, welcome back to another video. Great work yesterday writing your stories. One thing I noticed is that we're forgetting that each time a new person speaks, we have to write a new paragraph. So in yesterday's story, we had 3 people speaking. We had Bigfoot, we had Alex, and we had Susie. So each time one of those characters spoke, we needed to start a new paragraph. But you guys did a great job adding in lots of great detail and making sure all of your words were clear. So keep up the awesome work. For today's class, we're going to be looking at lesson 36, and we're going to focus on parts A, B, C, and D. So let's begin. So I have my book right here, so I'll read the instructions. So let's look at part A. These are sentences combined with the word but. To punctuate sentences combined with the word but, you put a comma right before the word but. So once again, you put a comma right before the word but. So I'll read sentence number 1. Anita wanted to go to the show, but all the tickets had been sold. Right, so we have number 1 right here. Anita wanted to go to the show, but all of the tickets had been sold. So let's remember the rule. We have to put a comma right before the word but. So we have that word right here. That means I'm going to add in my comma right over here. And I'll put a box just so we can see it a little better. So now what the sentence should say is Anita wanted to go to the show, comma, but all of the tickets had been sold. So now what I want you guys to do is read through sentences 2, 3, 4, and 5, and right before the word but, we have to add in our comma. So you can pause the video now, and then I'll see you in part B. So welcome back to part B. So now I'll read the instructions. It asks us to fix up 3 unclear words in this passage. So let's read the passage carefully. Look at the picture as you read. We need to find 3 unclear words. We have to cross out those words and write the name of the person. So let's start. Early one morning, Tina drove her car to the garage where Robert, Sam, and Jane worked. Right? We don't have any pronouns. We don't have any words such as he or she. And we just name everybody, so we don't have any unclear words in that sentence. So let's look at the next sentence. After Tina parked her car in front of the gas pumps, he walked to the back of the car and opened the gas tank cover. Right? We don't know what he is referring to, so that word is unclear. What we have to do is look at the picture and find out who was pumping gas into her car. Right? It's Robert. So cross out the word he and write Robert. So the sentence should say, after Tina parked her car in front of the gas pumps, Robert walked to the back of the car and opened the gas tank cover. So I want you guys now to read the other 2 sentences, and in each sentence there will be an unclear word. So using the picture to help you, cross out the unclear word and write the person's name. So you can pause the video now, and then I'll see you in part C. So welcome back to part C. So this part is called editing sentences that begin with a part of the predicate. So I'll start and read the instructions. It tells us that 4 sentences in part C need a comma because they begin with the words if, unless, or although. If a sentence first names and then tells more, you don't need a comma in the sentence. But if the sentence begins with the words if, unless, or although, you need to put a comma after that part. So I'll read sentence number 1. They will come with us unless it rains. Does that sentence first name somebody and then tell more? Yes, it does, right? It starts with the word they and tells what they will do. The sentence first names somebody, then tells more. So, do you think that this sentence needs a comma? No, it doesn't, because it does not start with the words if, unless, or although. Let's look at sentence number 2. Sentence number 2 says, although the sky was cloudy, we decided to go to the beach. So does that sentence first name somebody and then tell more? No, it doesn't. The sentence begins with the word although. So that sentence will need a comma. So let's fix up the sentence. We need to put a comma after the part that begins with although. So what the sentence should say for number 2 is, although the sky was cloudy, comma, we decided to go to the beach. So once again, we put our comma right after the word cloudy. Let's do one more. Sentence number 3 says, the girls talked a lot as they prepared for the picnic. Does that sentence first name somebody and then tell more? Yes, it does, right? It names the girls and then tells more. So does that sentence need a comma? No, it doesn't. Remember, if a sentence first names and then tells more, the sentence does not need a comma. But if the sentence begins with if, unless, or although, the sentence will need a comma. So we have 3 more sentences in part C that need to be fixed up, and we need to add commas. So we said that in sentence 2, we needed to add our comma after the part that said, although the sky was cloudy, comma, we decided to go to the beach. So now let's look at number 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 3 of those sentences will need to be fixed. So you can pause the video now, and then I'll see you in part D. So let's look at part D. In each item, a person says 2 things. So what we have to do is put in the missing punctuation marks. So we're either going to be missing question marks around the exact words somebody said. If it's a question, we need to add our question mark. And if it's a statement, we'll need to add our comma. And once again, at the end of each sentence, we need to have a period. So let's look at number 1. We'll do that together, and then I want you to practice number 2, 3, and 4 on your own. So I'll write what it says. The sentence says, can I stay up late? Tony asked his mother. My favorite show is on television. So this is what we have. So what we need to do is put in the missing punctuation marks. Right, so what are the exact words that Tony asked in the first one? Right, can I stay up late? So around those words, I'm going to put in my quotation marks. We know that this is going to be a question because it says that Tony asked his mother. So what we need to do now is before our closing quotation mark, I need to add a question mark. So now we have quotation mark, can I stay up late? Question mark, closing quotation mark, Tony asked his mother, period. So our first sentence is punctuated correctly. The second sentence is, my favorite show is on television. So those are also exact words that Tony said. So I'm gonna put quotation marks right around those words. And we're almost done. I'm missing a period. And remember, the period will go before my closing quotation mark, so I need to put it right there. So now my second sentence should say, we have our quotation marks, my favorite show is on television, period, closing quotation mark. So guys, with this in mind, please look at number 2, 3, and 4, and make sure you're putting in the missing punctuation marks, your quotation marks. If it's a question, you need your question mark. If it's a statement, you will need a comma. And then remember to end each sentence with a period. So keep up the awesome work, and I'll see you in our next lesson.